volume, wake the crowd. F'nAround, stop the day. Rats and raves, we got something to say.
Good morning and welcome back to F'nAround in the morning on WURE FM radio. This is your Merry Christmas week from all of us here at F'nAround in the morning. I'm your co-host, Joe.
What's good, everybody? It's JJ. Christmas time. It is Christmas time.
Oh, you gonna do a little dance for us? Put on a little elf outfit?
I wish I could. I'm too fucking stoned right now. I got fucking baked today, dude. I told you Santino wasn't feeling good and shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, so Angela had me wrapping gifts till 12:30 last night, and we're not even done. And just a super fucked up situation.
Nah,
cut off my knuckle. That's fucking crazy. You know when you get them small cuts, right? Like it's literally nothing.
Right. It's like the weather
like
change.
A son of a bitch.
Yes, it's the weather change. I get it cracked out with the weather change for me. But yeah, I get it. I was doing like family stuff today too. You know, we did the cemetery, did the stop by.
I seen you were out shopping. You were getting that good stuff too. Where were you? What'd you guys get me for Christmas over there, huh?
I drank your coffee already, buddy.
No.
Yes.
My coffee.
Yeah, I got you a coffee and I drank it. But yeah, no, we hit the cemetery, visit all the family, said hi to everyone, our friends.
Yeah,
we paid our respects to Brian as always. You know, you're out there, you got to do it because the same cemetery as everyone.
I was just on the phone with Joey a little bit ago, dude.
Yeah, I talked to him today too. Yeah,
he's doing really good, dude. He's got he's like got a lot ahead of him, dude. That's gonna be a lot of rough work, dude. Rough work.
Well, shout out to him and his family. This is going to be a rough Christmas for them, sadly.
Oh, yeah, and I was talking about the gym, right?
So I know, but I was just saying it while we're on there because it is Christmas season.
Yeah, dude. He's got a lot on his plate over there, but he's really trying to do something really nice. So I'm all fucking for it, dude. And whatever we could do to help, I told him, you know, we're always all here. I know you were over there helping set up the fucking the ring and shit. So yeah, that's nice, dude. How did it all come out when you were done?
I was the only one who lived in the city, so I did duck out before I had to deal with all the rush hour crap. But they kept going. It looked really nice in the end. Yep.
Nice.
You know how it goes. When you live in the city and you're working out in Mokina and helping people, it gets a little hard.
Yes, it most definitely does.
Yes.
So yeah, we were thinking, you know, I was just sitting here thinking, and, you know, I know everybody's got so much going on. It's holiday season. So I was thinking that maybe we just jump on here, you know, do a little bit of, you know, quick Merry Christmas to everybody, let them know some of our plans. But I think that being the season that it is and the things that we've done right, and, you know, I just spoke to Prentiss earlier today too, so obviously he sends his love and everybody, you know, and his thank yous to everybody for tuning in and appreciates all support. But it got me thinking, right now we got him. He doesn't have a choice, dude. He's in there, right? And there's really not much that like we can do besides make sure that we push this story as best as we can. So I was going to see what you thought about it, right? What if we just do a Prentiss thing this week, dude, and run the story a couple times or once a day or something like that? What do you think?
I mean, normally I'd be like, okay, let me think about it. But did you see how I saw that Halo Moon? Yeah. And I had that big, deep post about, you know, it is the holiday season. In the holiday season, we shouldn't.
Pictures.
Thank you. I've never heard of a Halo Moon till today. But so anyone who's listening, a halo moon is where it's like a ring of a rainbow goes around the moon because of the light's refracting off ice in the atmosphere and the clouds there, just to give you a little scientific background. But it made me sit there and think it is the holiday season, and sometimes you don't have to rant and rave and go after everyone every day. And sometimes you should be thankful where you had and take a minute to breathe and appreciate nature and the beauty in life. So with what you just said goes actually perfectly with my post I did, because maybe you're right. It is Christmas. It's the time to be thankful, giving back, and to try and help. Maybe we should, for this week, we don't get on and we attack our favorite. What's that guy's name again from Illinois?
I'm going to say his name correct now, right? I'm not going to call him. Being the fact that it's Christmas season. Okay.
So you don't even have to say it then, but you got the idea. So
yeah. And actually, I was going to say kind of roughly the same thing. And I want to point out to everybody that I know that we tend to get kind of mean to people on here, especially me, right? I'm always attacking somebody that's doing some crazy shit or something that we're talking about, right? But, you know, everybody is still a human to me at all points in time, right? So to everybody that we go in on, regardless of the situation, it's Christmas time. Everybody should be enjoying enjoying Christmas with their families. And it is the time of giving and being thankful and all this other good stuff. So regardless of if we've came after you and went in on you on here, right? This is coming from me. I don't know how Joey feels, right? Joey might have a different opinion. But regardless if I've come at you or anything like that, dude, have a Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Right? We've had a fucked up year, fucked up few years, actually. You know what I'm saying? Like, since COVID, dude, shit just has been so hectic for everybody. And once again, not a political statement, right?
Right.
We're just talking about since the pandemic, dude, stuff's been so crazy for our country. And I think that it's important to recognize that everybody should just take time and enjoy themselves and enjoy their families and enjoy the fact that we all do have life right now, right? Yep. Be appreciative for what's around us. Like Joey sent those pictures in, right? It's something simple, right? But it kind of makes you think. Look at how simple and beautiful that situation was to you to make you be like, hey, listen, man, let's do this, right? It's obviously a sign in some way. So, yeah, I'm glad you agree with me, bud.
I totally agree. And I say we be thankful, and we try and share Prentiss' message this week, as you said, and then we'll come back next Monday stronger, better, and happier than ever.
Oh, God,
ever.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Yeah. We got stuff to talk about, too. We put some stuff on the back burner today.
Because you know what I want to do? I want to start some new prairie fires. Message. Message. So with that, I will say,
got some good stuff. Yeah.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Be thankful for your family. Spend time with them as long as you got the freedom and you're not in bracelets or cuffed up. And appreciate what you have, because some people don't. And some of you might lose it soon. So be very careful and enjoy every second you got.
Yeah, most definitely. That's facts, dude. And to Prentiss, right? So, Prentiss, we know you're listening, dude. You always tap in when you can, when it's available to you. You try to tap in. My boy, listen, we are out here for you, bud. I appreciate, because minus what he's done by giving us the story and giving us this opportunity, you understand this man's been pushing everything the company's been doing nonstop. Dude.
Very supportive. So it's time we're supportive for him in his holiday season. Not that we're not supportive every day, but this week is about giving back to Prentiss. So with that being said, James, take it away.
Hey, man, everybody have a Merry Christmas. I'm JJ.
And I'm Joe.
Happy holidays. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks for effing around and enjoy Prentiss.
Oh.
Hey.
How y'all doing tonight?
Good. What's the word?
How's it going? Before we start, I want to kind of do a little disclosure. We do need your approval and your consent to audio and video record this. As per law, it's kind of like our media release, so we need a verbal consent. We will be using this for our podcast, as well as distributing it on the radio, our social media, and any other channel that picks it up. So do we have your verbal consent to record audio and video before we start talking?
Yes, you do.
Perfect. Well, I'm Joe Phelan.
You always got mine, my boy. You can always record me.
Oh, I know. I don't need your approval. You're part of the company. So I'm Joe Phelan. I'm one of the co-hosts of the F'nAround podcast. This is James, my partner. He'll jump in a second, but we are starting our own morning show for the podcast that we got picked up by WURE FM Underground Radio, and a part of the Underground Railroad Entertainment Company based out of Memphis. And we are starting to push that as a daily morning show due to the traction we've got from the podcast. And because of how late it was, and James being the CEO of 312 All, we thought it'd be a great idea to jump him on and talk with, because my co-host Mike, as you heard on the podcast, he does a nonprofit during the day, and we didn't want to take him away from the kids tomorrow. So I'll let James introduce himself, and then let's get your story.
So I'm James Fontano, boss. Great to meet you. I'm CEO of 312 All, and, we're kind of an entertainment company that has grown to many different aspects. We have a record label called Motivate the Trenches, and then we also got our production company, which is Timeless Wolf, which is where you see the great thing in front of you, which is the F'nAround podcast. I mean, these guys right here, what they have done in the short period of time with this platform is amazing. So that's just an in the nutshell thing of what we got going on over here. We could sit here and talk for hours about what we got going on, but this definitely isn't a 312 All thing.
Perfect.
So I kind of want. I'd like to kind of hear a little bit about what's more about what you got going on. I'm sure Joey will dive into that with you too.
Yeah, we want to hear the story and what made you reach out to us.
Okay. Well, first, I'm Prentiss Banks. I'm appreciate y'all welcoming me to your podcast and you know, willing to hear my story. I heard about your podcast through Instagram through one of my friends, and it was 310, I believe. Is what I'm saying it correctly?
No, the podcast name, if you're talking about the podcast, F'nAround podcast, it's the podcast name. And then you have the company, which is where I'm at, is 312 All.
So
but
you
the
probably saw one of our posts on
That's
312 All.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's
we're
where it
always
was.
connected to each other, so you probably got crossed in some way, yeah.
Yeah, you know, one of my friends was telling me, say, hey, reach out to these guys, you know, they are willing to hear, you know, anyone's story that's, you know, just a good story, you know what I mean? And they'll make sure it gets to the, you know, to the right people. And I said, you know, I'm taking this big risk, you know, and tell my story, and I look forward to it, you know, and I appreciate you guys, you know, even walking me into your platform like this, you know, because it's much needed. And I definitely would look for, you know, refer other people to.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Yeah,
if you got a story to tell and there's a way we can put it out there, we'd happily put it out there. I mean, and if there's a lot of corruption and fraud in it, I like to bark a lot. That's why I rant and rave.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, to get to, you know, reason why I touched bases with y'all, because I wanted to get into my story of how I came from an innocent young man with a non-corrupt mind, you know what I mean? Understanding that the poverty that I stayed in guided my life, you know, and it guided in a way to where I didn't understand a lot of the rules of engagement of what I was coming in contact with. You know what I mean? I came out of a home that was abuseful. My father would abuse my mother at an early age. From birth to 14 years old, I watched her almost put to death by my father. You know what I mean? He was like maybe 3 or 4 hits away from killing her. So at the age of 14, you know, I put him out. Me and my mom, we fought hard, we put him out. You know, I'm the youngest of 10 siblings, but my other siblings was gone with just me and her present at the house. And we fought hard, you know, and he never came back.
Not to cut you off. And where are you from, boss?
I'm from California.
California, okay. Where in California?
I'm out of Riverside County.
Oh, okay.
I was actually stationed out in Pendleton for a while, so that's about my idea for California. But I only serve my country in Tijuana, so don't worry about
it. Yeah, I know where Camp Pendleton at. I'm more closer to like March Air Force Base.
Okay.
In that area. Yeah, that's closer to my area.
Okay.
And, yeah, you know, it was a real rough ride. You know, my mom, she was a strong one, but we had to do what we had to do. You know what I mean? So early on, at 14 years old, I was like, you know what, my mama need help, and I hit the streets. At 14 years old, I'm standing under a tree selling drugs and associated around the gang members and doing all these things that I should not be doing, you know what I mean? But never associated with a gang, but just being around them individuals led me to a lot of corrupt mindsets, you know what I mean? And participating in things that I should not be participating in at a young age. Never had that like father influence or a positive influence.
See, that's the thing. No father figure to look up to. No guidance. You know,
you got to find it where you find it then, and then unfortunately you fall to the values that they give you.
Okay.
Yeah, everything that I learned was like life experience in the moment. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And being in the moment is like you're subject to make crucial mistakes in your life because that experience is what it is. And if you're not privileged to certain information, you will do things or say things or participate in things that unknown to you that is maybe in violation of what you shouldn't be not doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
yeah, for sure.
So that, you know, like I said, I do my best to be better now. You know what I mean? And what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. So that was my back history. You know, I don't know what else you would like for me to expound on. I'm trying to
well, keep expounding. We'd love to know why we ended up on this call together. I mean, as I always said, every saint has a future, and every saint has a past, and every sinner has a future, right?
Right. Well, also I said as I got older, being in the streets, hanging around with so-called friends, I ended up in a vehicle that I did not know about. You know what I mean? My so-called friend, childhood friend, we went to school together all the way from elementary to junior high. So we was real tight-knit. And they went out, they called me and said, hey, we're going to go to a party. And I'm like, okay, we're finna go hang out with the girls.
Oh, yeah.
Drunk, I'm like, let's go. You know what I mean? I'm amped up, dressed up. And unknown to me, they put up in a vehicle. I didn't question the vehicle that they pulled up in because they normally come in different vehicles. We all had our own cars and stuff. So I said, we're going to ride all together. Unknown to me that they went out prior to coming to get me and got in and robbed somebody for a vehicle. And in that robbery that they robbed somebody, it was a tuffle over the gun and somebody got murdered. And we're riding around in this car and I'm like, it was a lot of conversations going on, but it was like, it wouldn't really, you just listening. It's like, you ain't really comprehend like, okay, I took a car. So what you took a car type, it's nothing. But the conversation as we got farther down the road was like, hey, somebody got shot. I'm like, wait a minute, somebody got shot? Hey, look, put me out. I don't want to be a part of this. You know what I mean? So they end up putting me out.
So you get picked up and this is just something that they spring upon you down the road.
Yeah, they
sound like great friends.
No, I learned real quick they wasn't great friends. And it's funny now because I'm kind of older and I look back on my experiences. You know what I mean? And
how long ago was this?
1991, February 11, 1991.
Was that was even before Grand Theft Auto?
I was 1 years old. I was one. I was one.
I was 5.
Oh Lord. Oh my goodness.
I don't think Mo was born.
Oh my goodness.
So you get in the car, your homies let you know down the road or a little bit down the ways that this is what had happened. And then you're like, yo, let me get the fuck up out of here. Straight like that. That's where we were at, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they didn't let me out. So we just end up still riding around. So it was like, okay, I'm in it now. So, they not letting me out. I'm not finna just jump out the car. You know what I mean? So as we rode around, they was talking about, okay, well, let's just we're gonna do another carjacking. Huh?
Yeah, because that sounds. I'm just saying that sounds like a really good idea.
Yeah,
so
let's just double down on the night, right?
Yeah, let's just let's do some special shit here.
Let's increase our star count.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, they came and picked me up early. So as the night went on, and we ain't never made it to the party. Let me might say, later on,
it doesn't sound that. It doesn't sound.
Yeah.
You did, my boy.
Yeah, I'd be at home like, what did I just do? Like, I'd be like wiping off the car, like I can't believe I got in this car.
Yeah. So they like, okay, well, we all driving. They pulled up and bumped the back of a car. They was like, they all looked at me and said, hey, go get that car. Like, take the car. What do you mean take the car? So they was like, get out. And another guy got out and we took the guy's car. Nobody got killed. We just took his car. They all got in the car. We drove off. They ditched that car. We stayed in the original car, the other car. As we drive around, the police get behind us. Everybody jump out, run. 3 of us get arrested. The other 2 get away. Okay. Now that we're arrested, we find out felony murder charges are getting charged against us because somebody said something that wasn't supposed to be said. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, now we all charged with felony murder. Detectives are interrogating us like hours in. You know, and then
so I got to ask on that. I got to ask on that one because you're talking 91. That was before they put all those little rules and regulations in for that interrogation, right? Or where they didn't care and they didn't have the cameras and the body cams and this is like a movie 1991 interrogation, right?
Yes. Okay. There was a little back room way in the back
with the phone book.
With the phone book, you know, you know, no, you know, nothing like no devices, no camera, no nothing. It was just a room with a table and some chairs and 2 officers.
They didn't even give you your iPhone, did they?
No, they didn't give you nothing. Not one call, you know. So, you know, me being, that's my first time ever coming in contact with officers, you know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, this is not going to be good. So they get immediately tell me, hey, look, what happened? What's going on? You know, I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. So it was hours and after hours. They leave my room, go to another room. Leave that room, go to another
Prisoner's
room.
dilemma.
Yeah, they're just going back and forth.
And how old are you exactly at this time?
They can get to say, well,
I had just turned 18 years old, maybe 3 months, 4 months after my 18th birthday.
Oh, that's a scary 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
that messed up 18th, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay. So they say, okay, look, man, you tell us what happened, and we'll let you go home. I'm like, tell you what happened, well, let me go home. Okay, well, what do you want to know? Hey, what's the deal, right? Well, unknown to me, they're like, well, you tell us what happened. So the only thing I know is what I heard in the car. And they're like, okay, well, you tell us. We know you did it. Okay, yeah, I did it. I did it just to go home. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to tell you what you want to hear so I can go home.
Yeah, that doesn't
work.
What I
mean?
Yeah, that doesn't work 100% of the time. Just
yeah. Unknown to me, it didn't work out because when we actually got back to from everything, they separated. You know, we got to municipal court. They severed all our cases.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you severing all our cases when this crime is supposed to be for everybody? Well, they severed all our cases because now the first person went to trial, he got acquitted of the murder and got a robbery and got 5 years. The second person went to took a deal for voluntary manslaughter and got a gun to robbery and said somebody else was the principal.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm like, okay, he got 13 years. Okay. I went to trial. You know, they never found me guilty of a gun. They never found me guilty they never did a gun residue test. The attorney that I had was only 2 years into practice. The scene was never reenacted to say, hey, you know.
Well, so just for my knowledge, because I was obviously 1 at the time, right? I was young. How was like ballistics tests and gun residue tests and shit like that? How was that shit back then? Was it even reliable?
No, it wasn't reliable because
I mean, it's not like now. You know, I mean, it's not like even in the past 10 years, let's say, right? Let's not even say like 2010, right? In the 90s, I would imagine that back then, this was, you know, obviously not something that was advanced.
No, it wasn't definitely advanced because the person that got shot, there was no one even there to pick the bullet up from the person that got shot and killed. So they don't even know if the bullet matched the gun. Whoa. You know what I mean?
Not even a ballistics test.
There was no ballistics. You know, my attorney never brought up ballistics. He never brought us GSRs. They never did a gun residue test on me to see if there was gun residue on my fingers and hands. You know what I mean? So it was just a lot of error on my attorney part because he was never questioning the officers based on if you saying this is the person, did you do a gun residue test? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No.
And you had said that he was in practice for 2 years?
Yeah, he was in practice for 2 years.
Public defender?
Public defender.
Okay.
They had state attorneys. I had public defender.
Oh wow! How did that work? How did that work out?
Well, one of them got 13.
No, but I meant the attorney layouts.
Oh well, I mean they had the money.
Yeah, they had money. One of them, sisters and brothers, was in the law firm. They knew lawyers and stuff. And the other one,
That's what I was kind of getting at, because based on what you were saying and where you were growing up in the group, that the people you were hanging out with, I kind of figured you guys all were, of the same financial standing.
Yeah.
So I was curious how it worked for the law firm, if they had a setup or they had a in. So having a sister definitely helped that a little bit.
Yeah.
Definitely helped.
Yeah, because I'm picturing, if you're all riding in the car doing the same thing and partying all the time together, you're usually around the same area, the same financial area. Because let's be honest, that's how the neighborhoods are kind of set up nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or back then, even worse.
It was country. It was more like chicken, goats, and all like really country area.
Oh, wait, now I'm so lost, because I'm picturing downtown city and Grand Theft Auto.
No. I mean, I know. Yeah. I mean, you're talking
downtown,
Cali, right?
Downtown Paris and Lee Valley area. It was country. You can open the back door, throw lettuce out there, and then close it and open it back up. You see nothing but rabbits.
Oh, so that's why you can still get hung for like stealing a horse.
Yes, back then. One of the first commercial buildings in Paris, California, was out in California, was in Paris, California. So it was a hotel.
Oh, wow.
So it was that kind of country western type look in the environment back when I grew up.
So how does that play into what you guys were doing that night, though? Because it sounds like where you're from, relevantly really small town. I mean, I can tell you right now, I'm from Chicago, right? I live in Atlanta now, but I'm from Chicago, and I'm kind of I'm outside of Atlanta in a really small town. So I mean, it's small here, and I can tell you it's a major difference. So I mean, how does that incorporate into like where you guys were at? What were you thinking, bud? Why would you be doing stuff like that, man?
It was complete boredom that somebody said, hey, it's a party, and we got to go to Riverside, to a whole nother city, to actually go to this party.
Was this a barn party or like
downtown? It was like a house party.
Okay.
We supposed to have made it to.
Were you involved in like any sports or I mean anything? What were you doing at that time?
No, not involved in any sports. From 14 to 17, right before I got arrested, I was in the streets. I was just survival mode.
Man.
Really survival mode.
I understand. I'm not knocking it. I'm just trying to get a grasp of the entirety of the situation here, Bob.
So I got a question then, because when I'm picturing the streets and surviving the streets, I'm picturing city life. How does that work in like country life?
Yeah, you get. I'm trying to.
I'm trying to picture it too, because there's not a corner where people are going to drive by. They're going to grab stuff off him, because you probably know everybody who lives in the town. Like you could just go to their house and be a delivery guy, if that's what you were doing.
Yeah, we had like a gas station that everybody hung up under the tree, where all the cars used to come through and buy drugs and then keep going. It was like a main highway. You know what I mean? But it takes about a mile. It's about a couple miles to get there by walking, or you ride a bike to get there. Any type of motorcycles or whatever the transportation was at that time. And you just hung up in the tree, and when the night was over, you go home.
Joey, are you picking that up?
Yeah, I'm picking it up. It's getting a little electronic and pitchy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting a little echo?
Yeah, just a little bit echo.
Slightly. Yeah.
Is it a little bit better?
Yeah, you're good. I mean, it's not an issue. Yeah, I mean,
he just wanted to make sure if it was his connection or mine, but then it's your connection. But no, it's all right. We can still hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I have to move it around.
Now it's back.
I got my earphones on. That's why.
Oh, got it.
So that environment really didn't have anything productive. It was nothing in the community to do anything. It was just if it's in the moment type thing. Somebody called and say, "Hey, let's go." We all in the car. We piled in and we went. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was exciting. You know what I mean?
It's really just boredom and no options, right? Like you were saying, you didn't know what to do, nothing to do. So, that's just what the fuck it was, man. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I understand.
I literally, during that whole process, I dropped out of school. So I didn't go to school none from...
Me too.
All the way until
I did too, but
I went to junior high and got to high school. After that, it was no more school. you know, when I was in special education classes from elementary all the way to high school.
Okay.
And, you know, I couldn't read right. I had problems reading. So it was kind of embarrassing. It was kind of, you know, you had to go to these classes and everybody was expecting the classes, you know. And it's like, man, you know, but now that I look back, and it's like that played a real factor in my speaking to anybody, because I understand what a lot of the stuff that was, you know what I mean, from my education. And but you know, once we got to getting charged and no ballistic tests, I would learn as I went along. I didn't understand what was going on in the courts. You know what I mean? Because they kept telling me, hey, you know, this is what my attorney kept saying, hey, this is what we're going to prolong. I'm telling him, hey, look, man, there's a problem, you know, with everything's being said. I don't feel like you're representing me right.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, you know, what are you talking about? You know, he played dumb. Like, what are you talking about? Doing everything as I'm supposed to do. But in my mind, I'm like, no, you're not, because you're not bringing no witnesses. You're not calling no witnesses. You're not even putting any expert witnesses to counteract what the DA is saying. You know?
So you ain't even doing shit anyways, yeah.
So as it moved along, we got closer to trial, I'm noticing like there's not a lot of black jurors coming on board. You know what I mean? The ones that did come got kicked off.
So can I ask that then was it in the town you were in? Or,
yes.
So can I ask, do you know the kind of the breakdown in the population? Was there a lot of black people in the community?
Can I actually hold on? Actually, I'm gonna get some stats for you here, Joe. Okay. Can I get the name of the town? Can you spell it for me?
Riverside County.
Riverside County, California, right? And then
yeah, I'd love the demographics on that. And just to let you know, every once in a while your service kind of cuts in and out, so you get a little staticky. So I'll let you know when it's happening, but no worries. I'm guessing it's probably the small town. That's how we're in Chicago, and I still get self-service bad all the time.
I can put my headphones on if you need me to.
See, that sounded perfect right there. It just kind of cuts in and out for sometimes. It just kind of you have like this really deep resonating voice, and then sometimes it goes like really high pitch. It's like, yeah, that's not you.
Let me try this with my headphones.
All right, perfect.
Okay, so it is.
Is that a little bit better?
I got some weird.
I'm getting a little static feedback right now. Oh, there you go. It's gone.
So no, it's gone. So that's a little bit better.
Yeah, it's a lot better.
All right. All right. Yeah, I put my earbuds in.
Perfect.
Okay, so hold on. I'm picking it up right here.
Like even my case happened
really
before the Rodney King riot.
Okay, so that I was actually curious about that. I was going to get into that because when you were saying the timeline, I was like, yeah, I'm not familiar with it from the age point, but I'm familiar with the historical significance and the time period of it.
Right now, 10.7% poverty rating. Their ethnicity is predominantly, let's say, Mexican and white now, right? 90% of the county are U.S. citizens. The median age is 36. Household income is about $90K a year. I mean, it seems like right now it's. I mean, and I believe this is right now.
Yeah, it's definitely gentrified.
Yeah, I don't believe that this was the 90s at all, and I can't seem to get a solid number on that. But I'll see if I can get. I'll keep trying to look around, but I would imagine that it was.
So if this all happened during the Rodney King riots, it was something they probably wanted to keep quiet.
Yeah.
So let's get back into the jury then. Well, because he pulled up the demographics on it, we got to keep up. Well, let's hear what happens next. You got me like kind of wondering where the story's going. We haven't gotten to the point why we're on this call yet. We're still digging. We're still digging into little towns.
Yeah.
So when they picked the jury, I noticed that it wasn't a lot of black jurors. I said, hey, what's going on with the jury? And it was like, well, this is we have a demographic of area that is we pull our jury from. But every jury that black jury came, they kicked them off. So they end up selecting the jury, and 6 members of the jury, what I learned later on is that 6 members of the jury was robbery victims or knew someone of robbery victims. So I'm like, and then I got a robbery case. I'm like, how did that work out? And one of the members was an NRA member. So I'm like, later on, I'm like, okay, that now I realize that I never stood a chance in this, because 6 out of 6, somebody gonna swing to the right or the left, you know what I mean? And I end up swinging to the left on the gun charge. Probably the NRA person that swung to the left on my behalf to say, no, he didn't have a gun. You know what I mean? But the jury kept coming back and back and back, and the judge kept sending them back in there with the gun allegation, because he was like, no, you have to come with some type of verdict on the gun. And they was like, look, we hung. We can't put it in his hands. There's nothing that says that he had the gun. So the judge said, you know what? We're going to strike the gun. And the DA stood up at that moment and said, hey, look, if you think they need a gun to find him guilty for felony murder, they don't. All you got to do is prove that a robbery happened and the murder attaches itself with no defense. 30 minutes later, I was found guilty.
Yeah, I can't grasp that logic. And I'm a big logical person. Ask James. I drive him nuts with following logic and patterns. I can't draw a conclusion in my mind how that works.
Well, there's a law that
let me just hold on really quick. I want to get so they were told that they could not put the gun in your hand.
Yeah.
Anything like that. So anything that would have been used to commit this murder couldn't be placed in your possession.
Right.
In the court of law. Right. Now this isn't like speculation or anything, right? Like this isn't something that you're just telling us. Like you got like paperwork, you got all this.
Yeah, I got my original transcripts and everything. God, blessed our soul of all 33 years later, I still have my original transcripts.
Oh wow. I'd actually love to read those. I mean, if you can send them over, or if you're able to, I'd love to. I mean, feel free. I'll put them in our put them in our group chat. I'd love to read that stuff.
Yeah,
I definitely will.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I definitely will send you the information. Because
so they can't put the murder weapon in your hand, right? They can't even necessarily place you at the murder. All they can guarantee is that you committed a robbery at some point in the night, but they can tell you, but that wasn't the robbery that happened when there was a murder that took place.
No, it wasn't a robbery. They took another robbery later on that evening and matched it with the murder and say, this is 2 cases that we can merge together and say, this is felony murder.
Man.
And it has, and the time stamp doesn't matter, because the time that it happened, it's a 30-minute to 45-minute drive from where they committed the robbery and where they picked us up at. And then where the other robbery happens, like a 10-minute to 15 minutes away from each other. So if it was going to be considered a continuous act, it had to go backwards in the crime versus forward in the crime. You know what I mean? So it didn't match up.
I mean, and I'm not laughing at you, so I don't want you to.
I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
I can't grasp it, and just so you know, I'm a convicted felon, right? So I've been to prison 3 times. I did 5 years is the most that I've done straight, right? I've been home for 5 now, no trouble, no nothing. It's the best thing that ever happened to me was my family, right? Finding my wife and my son has been the absolute best, and then also now just recently starting what we have going on and what you see in front of you, right? But with that being said, right, so I'm very familiar with kind of how things go as far as what Illinois goes. I'm not familiar with California. I do know like that stuff there is kind of the way that they do things there is super fucked up. Like I mean,
be careful what you say. You might not want to go back to California. they're not very. They don't take kind to people who talk about them.
Yeah,
he knows it. They do not like people who talk about them.
Yeah, they can go fuck themselves. The land of fruit and nuts. I don't give a fuck. So
many words are going through my head and agreeing with you. Like,
yeah, I understand, but it's just the way that, and it's not even just the way their criminal justice system is, because that's fucked up too. It's just the way that they view their people. They're all a dollar sign. Right, you get what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna give you all these services, right? But how much are we gonna get out of you in the long run, right? You get what I'm saying? What can we drain from you in the long run? That's basically how that whole entire fucking state operates. And then even then you go to the prison system, right? So you get some asshole that might commit 3 crimes that aren't serious crimes, right? But they fall under that stupid law where it's the 3-strike law, right? Where you get these 3 minimal crimes where somebody gets in trouble for some dumb shit, and he's sitting in jail for the rest of his life fighting for himself to get out because he fucking slapped somebody 3 times in a row or something. You know, he got into 3 bar fights and somebody got hurt. Okay, so the guy's got a fucking anger problem. What the fuck are you in prison for the rest of your life for?
Yeah, it's kind of messed up.
You get what I'm saying? And just an example, yeah, but that's just that's my view of your wonderful state over there.
And even in that system, you know, under the 3 strikes law, people don't realize that the agreements that they're taking is contracts. So once you fulfill that contract that you've made with the state, that contract becomes null and void. But they're now using that same first strike as a second strike to the 3rd strike, which now, how are you breaching a contract that already fulfilled?
Like I said, the land is nuts.
You know, so
it
used to be the land of greenery. But the rest of the country took it now.
And listen, I shouldn't be so critical. It's just because there is a lot of good in California, right? I mean, their cannabis culture is fucking amazing, right? They have a great culture down there. It is kind of fucking corrupt too down there too, so we know that shit. But their cannabis culture is true, right? It's amazing down there. There is some good things in California for sure, but the prison system's super fucked, dude. Super fucked.
Yeah. And even in that, right? Riverside County was Riverside County, Orange County, and Los Angeles County back in the 90s was the highest conviction rate counties there was in the 90s. It was like 95% to almost 100% conviction rate or plea agreement.
And right, that's where that Rodney King stuff that you guys mentioned,
yes,
that you guys mentioned earlier comes into play, though, right? Because I'm not going to sit here and play like I'm extremely versed on the situation, but I can tell you right now there was some fucked up shit going on back then, right? I understand that. I understand that wholeheartedly, right? But that would obviously play to those numbers that you guys are talking about right now, right? Where people's conviction rates were through the fucking roof, right?
Run them through trial real quickly, get the conviction, and get them out of the public eye after what happened, right?
Yeah. Like he said, tell them they're going to go home, get them to say something a little janky, incriminate themselves, and let's lock them up and throw away the key, huh?
Yeah.
Right. So even like when that happened, you know, my attorney immediately, he did something smart, put me on the stand and recanted everything, right? So it was a battle against my original conversation versus the second conversation in actual court.
And how long of a period was
battle now? That's an uphill battle, my boy, right there.
But from the trial?
From you first getting arrested to that point in the trial. Like how long did you sit before you got to actually start the trial? Like, did they hold you the whole time?
Did you pay?
They held me the whole time. I was in custody the whole time.
You were in custody the whole time?
Yeah. From the time they arrested us, like that next morning or later that night, it was like earlier that morning, they arrested us, and I was in custody and never got back out.
Wow.
So
how long was the trial?
I was literally.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Before I know you're about to ask. I caught that too, but it was.
Yeah, wait, hold on.
Now you can jump in there on that one.
You said
never
from then and then never got back out.
Yeah, I never got back out. So I've been in here 33 years. From 18, I'm 52 years old now. As of June 19th of this year, I turned 52 years old.
Well, happy belated birthday. But let's get back to that for a second. James, I know I see that. I see those eyes moving. This is where you're so am I.
So you're currently incarcerated.
Yes, I'm currently incarcerated as we speak. I don't know if you can see, but there's my little cell door back there. You know.
Holy shit! And that makes so much sense of why that service keeps cutting in and out.
Yeah, they got blockers.
Oh,
Signal blockers to try to
that's why we're getting the electronic
the
noise.
signals.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, so I literally had to even get to this interview. I had to pay somebody $3,500 for a phone that I'm going to get rid of after this interview. Yeah, to get my story out, because I've been trying to get my story out, and it's like they literally blocked.
$3,500.
Yes.
That better be like an iPhone 16 Pro.
That's like legitimately, I can tell you right now, just because of past knowledge, a person could make that stretch for almost 2, 3, 4 years in jail, as far as like taking care of themselves, getting some food in their extra food in their stomach, all their hygiene, some fresh clothes. 3,500 goes a long way, and you and you spent that on a phone to have this conversation.
Yes.
That's insane.
And I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to get rid of it as soon as this interview is over.
That's utterly insane. I mean, I can't grasp that, and I know James is grasping that way more than I am. Like,
yeah, because
hey, man,
I looked at it. If I'm fighting for my life, there's no price on freedom.
None.
So I can try to, I can get the money back. So I just sell it to somebody else. And that way I don't put myself in any kind of situations,
So if you're trying to get your story out there, you've been there, you said, what, 30, how many years?
33 years.
33
years.
33. Holy fuck.
How come we haven't heard about it? Like, I mean, that seems like it's a story someone should talk about, right? Like, where's the press? Where's the media? Is your legal team?
Yeah. That's a solid question. Yeah, solid question.
Shouldn't it be somewhere, or anything?
After my conviction, it was just silent mode. Nobody. It was nothing. I fought. I tried to fight. As I learned law, try to file things in courts, but they unpublished my case.
Oh, okay, wait. So I'm lost on that. So James, you want to jump in on that one, because I'm kind of confused on that one.
So I'm excuse me. I'm definitely not no attorney, so don't give me
but I've never heard that phrase before.
Well, what I would imagine is that he could probably explain it better than I'm not gonna lie to you. 33 years, and I would imagine you've lived in the law library, right?
Yeah. What happens when they unpublish your case is like literally your case don't exist unless you get back in the courts and the courts now acknowledge your case again. But the information about your case will never be exposed to the public.
There's got to be some legalities there. There's something wrong with that. I mean, with the Freedom of Information Act and how things are going, I mean,
I don't give a shit if you did it, you're innocent, you're guilty. I don't give a fuck if let's just say that you were on the phone with us bullshitting us right now, right? And you're just blowing smoke up our ass, which I'm not saying you are. Your case should never have any opportunity to not be published.
I mean, what are we missing? This is like Hoover level, like talking.
The only information that will be provided to the public is if I went like my appeal. I filed my appeal, and that information is put to the public. But as far as my case factors, that's unpublished. The court of opinions and all that is not published to the court.
And how long did it take them to do that? Was that immediate? So like right when you...
That was immediate. Yeah, right after I got arrested, I went through the court, the first appeal, and immediately they unpublished my case.
And there hasn't been anything over 33 years that you might have pieced together for why that would have been that way? I mean, that just doesn't sound like something that should have just been able to happen. As far as, I mean, I could see if maybe they said like, hey, listen, 25 years later, right? You get what I'm saying? Like 25 years later, we unpublished it, whatever. And that still wouldn't be right. But what you're saying is you took your time, right? So basically this is just what I'm gathering in a nutshell, right? You take your time, you do this, you go to trial, you take your time, you lose, and then you end up getting sentenced, right? And then after that, it's like you don't even exist no more, basically, in the court system.
Yeah.
You're just a dollar sign to big corporate America.
I think one of the reasons why they may have done it, I'm not for sure, I'm only speculating, is that in 2007 or 2008, there was an overstorage in evidence of Riverside County. of crime cases, right? So they sent out a notice to everybody that these storage is going to be destroyed. So they did. It was like 200 something cases that they destroyed all the evidence, and my case was one of them. So all the evidence that was in my case, is the gun, the clothing, whatever it is that we can now go back and test, is no longer existing. They destroyed it.
Right around when DNA started getting really popular and evidence got good.
So obviously, like he said, he's just speculating, but obviously you believe it's because of that over storage shit or whatever was going on, right? Which low key, like when you're just to give Joey a little bit of insight to validate what he's saying, right? When you're dealing with like all this criminal, like getting arrested and shit, there's always some stupid shit like that goes on between a police station or like Harrison and Kedzie. Like Holman Avenue, for example, the Chicago police station off of Holman used to have like this basement, like where they would just beat the shit out of people during interrogations, right? And then they would always use some crazy like fucking contractor fucking budget or some shit to get. I forgot what the whole entire thing was, but there's just to say what he's saying, these over storage problems like with evidence rooms and shit. Stuff like that would only make sense in the state of California, dude, especially at that time period, right? Could you imagine how much shit they would be collecting for evidence for all the stupid shit that they were arresting people for back then?
Or that they were doing?
Yeah. And just imagine, like, if we knew we made a mistake and unlawfully convicted somebody for the rest of his life, and this evidence now come back after 33 years that I've been actually innocent.
Yeah, you definitely got to get us all your original paperwork. I got to read it.
Yeah.
So is it posted anywhere? Has they been putting it out, or the only original copy is with you and they've destroyed the rest?
I got the only original copy. The court reporter that I got it from, she retired. So she was like, you better hold on to that for dear life, because if you lose that, you'll never get a hard copy again.
Oh, yeah. You definitely have to send it over. One, I want to read it, and two, I kind of want to attach it to this.
Okay.
Yeah, low key, and low key, to be honest with you, it kind of is a little bit of a little safety net and a little bit of insurance for you then, because then at least you don't have the only copy. You get what I'm saying? Now you know that there's two, and if you ever needed one, you got a little bit of an insurance policy in your back pocket.
Yep.
Just a little
For
2
sure.
cents from me. You know what I'm saying? Trust me,
I would definitely.
Listen, I've been around guys that have been in situations like you, and I'm telling you, when I was in jail, we didn't have this option like you've got right here, bro. When I did my time, I can't tell you.
James, he was there before your time. He's there after your time. He's still there.
No. I'm saying when I was there. No. I know he knows that, but we didn't have like the guys that I was there with when I seen it personally, right? They didn't have these options, right? They couldn't go get a cell phone. I've never seen a cell phone in prison during all my time of being there. I've seen drugs. I've seen COs like let you like look at a music video on their cell phone or something, but I've never actually seen somebody use a cell phone the way this man is using one right now, dude.
It's mind blowing me. I saw him only seeing TV and movies. I didn't even know. Like I thought it was like dramatic in the shows. Like, oh yeah, this happens, but like.
Well, low key, I was after a little
hold
bit.
On 1 second.
Yep.
Hold on, let me see, bro.
Is he doing a dude like?
Yo, he's doing a count. They gotta count all of the inmates.
I'm in disbelief a little bit.
I'm gonna need a few minutes. I think he's finna walk by, so give me a few minutes. I'm just gonna turn the light out real quick
That's
for
fine.
a couple seconds. And
Yeah,
all right,
we'll sit here and talk.
All right.
Yo. So this guy, what's going on right now, right? For anybody, because obviously I don't give a shit. I know people are going to be watching this that have no idea what the fuck's going on. So like they got to do counts overnight and shit. They got to continuously count you. It's like a tedious thing, and they just sit there. They come look in the cell, and like at this time, what time is it by him? It's like,
if he's California, it's midnight by me. It's got to be 10, 12.
okay, so I mean, yeah, they're usually expecting you to either just be kicked back watching TV or eating and just sitting there, but I don't.
I still can't believe we're doing this right now. I mean, it's kind of
Nelson
Mandela.
That's what I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that. So dude reaches out to you under this Nelson Mandela shit. We're talking about Mo. We're talking about Mo dancing as a Disney character with his fucking "Hey, you're welcome" shit, and then boom, this guy's in prison.
No, but here's the thing. Like, we got his story, we figured it out, but I really want to know what his intention is. I mean, if this is 2 to 3 years worth of money, what does he want? Like, what can we help him with?
So listen, that's a low number, right? So I could tell you right now, if you put $3,500 on your books, right, and you're just talking about basic needs, right, that could last you 10 years, bro. It can last you 10 years. It could. Now listen. I'm obviously I'm a little bit of an exaggeration, right? Because things do tend to get expensive, right? But if you're I've seen guys go through their bit with $25, $30 a month.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because you get state pay in Illinois, right? So you automatically get, I think, a minimum of $10. But like, I went to school and I had a job, so I got, I think it was like $25 or $30 a month from the state.
Rehabilitate you, and then you get out and you can't even get a job with the rehabilitation they gave you, right?
But listen to this though. A bar of soap, right? So a bar of Irish Spring cost you $2 when I was there.
You can pick up like a 4-pack for less than that at like a dollar store.
So to the point of saying you can't get your hygiene, you can do that with $30 a month, right? And it's rough, dude. It's rough, right? But the food they give you, so
that's why they privatize the thing, right? They all make all the dollars and cents. I'm starting to realize why. I'm starting to realize why we were meant to hear this.
I was gonna say I'm not wearing my Jordan Jordan sweatpants, but everybody knows, hey, MJ, you know what I'm talking about, man. You know what we're talking about with the privatized prisons, MJ. You know what we're saying about. Hey, you know. Hey, no.
Man, this is like.
You know what I'm saying? It's actually.
But how do you get lost in this? So I'm still lost on the fact, like, so I've like. I'm not familiar, but from watching a bunch of TV and movies, when you get life, don't you still get a chance to get like Pro at 20?
No. So like. So some laws have like these things going on where after X amount of years, right, it goes to like a different type of parole board. I think it is. It's not necessarily.
We gotta ask them because we gotta get those details on what it actually was sentenced with.
California.
My apologies. I'm waiting for this guy to pass by. He's taking his time.
Hey, listen, bro. I'm explaining to him the situation. Yeah, I'm letting him know. Yeah, I understand. We understand completely, dude. Don't worry, bro.
No.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
No rush. I mean, we're in no rush here. I mean, we're enjoying hearing the story, and we want to see where we can go from here or what you want to accomplish, but not any more risk to you than you've already done just for the chance to talk to us.
Okay, bear with me. I'm gonna see where you're at right quick.
You're good, dude. Yeah, you're good. So you know what, too? You know what I want to point out, right, Joe? So you know how like he's kind of like you see like that excitement that you hear in his voice a little bit, right? You get what I'm saying? So like when you're in there, dude, right? I'm not saying that he might have people that he contacts, right? But usually like you don't get too many people that are trying to hear. Nobody wants to hear your story of you wanting to go home in prison. You get what I'm saying? So like the inmates that he's around, I mean, I'm not sure how it is around him necessarily, like for sure, but I know that people don't want to hear about you going home or trying to go home because some of them people that he's around probably don't have a chance of going home, right? You get what I'm saying? So it's nice when you can talk to somebody about it.
Because it's like from my point of view, like from a corruption standpoint or whatever, it seems like it's a clerical error they tried to bury.
Hey, well,
I mean, what they got was they had two guys
got railroaded, and then a clerical error, and then it buried.
Well, them guys had private attorneys and basically got off in a sense, right? 5 years, 13 years, right? Yep. Somebody's got to go.
Yep. Someone's got to take the blame.
somebody's got to go, and not to be rude, right? So not to be rude, but this is like, you guys are like do the unfiltered thing and everything, but here we got this guy. He's uneducated. He's got a low IQ because remember he said he was in special classes, I believe he mentioned, right? So you got this guy. He's got all these situations. No dad. Mom's doing her best. He's got all these other shit. Hey, listen, he got a public defender. Send him up the river. And listen, I'm not saying that. Not saying that in any disrespectful way. What I'm saying is that's just how the fuck this shit goes, and it happens everywhere. It's not just California. It fucking happens everywhere, bro. Yeah, it fucking happens everywhere. Yeah.
I'm like half.
Yeah, I don't know where he's at.
Okay.
But I'm gonna just ride out until I can actually hear something. So bear with me.
No, of course.
Well, listen, we definitely. Well, one thing I want to point out, which I know Joey will understand. The main thing is so. For one, what we want to know is what are you trying to do, my boy? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What are you trying to do with obviously, I'm telling you, this is obviously it's something that should be heard and seen.
Couldn't agree more.
Right. Just with a little bit of details that you've given us, because I'm not gonna lie, I don't want you to get in trouble, because by you getting in trouble for this, right, it absolutely does us zero good. Right?
Are you sure you want us to air this or show this? I mean, I know you gave us consent, but you could get in trouble if we air this and it gets back to you. Are you sure you want people to hear this?
At this point, I've been 33 years of my life in prison. With a life without the possibility of parole, definitely want you to air it.
All right.
Because
my boy, hey, I understand.
I mean, you can. What can you possibly else do to me that you didn't took my whole life?
I just wanted to check because I don't want to hurt people or get people hurt or like. Yeah, and this seems like even though I want your story told and I want to put it out there, this feels like this could hurt you. And it could hurt. I don't know what they're going to do, but this could hurt if it gets out there. I don't know if one person's going to see it, a million people's going to see it. It'll go viral. I don't know if news will pick it up, but if they do, it has repercussions, and you should be very well aware of that. And you probably are well aware, being in there, what happens with those repercussions better than I ever would.
And here, like Joey just said, so I got a curious question here, because you see me, I've been hitting my pen over here. I'm a little high right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm curious right now, right? Let's say we did get this to a nice major news outlet, right? Let's say this happened, right? The way that he was just talking about. What would you do if it worked out for you, right? And you had a chance at coming home, right? And it looked like you were coming home, right? What would you do with that opportunity?
I'll use it for what I've been using it for. I'm a youth advocate and mentor. I use my voice to change the narrative of all the youth that we currently is destructing everything right now, because they don't understand consequences. They don't understand that the decisions that they make can end them here where I'm at for the rest of their lives.
Well,
okay. You know what I mean? So I'm a real advocate of that. You know what I mean?
We're all for advocacy here. We're all for advocacy. So speaking of advocacy, because what we like to do is showcase it out. And if you're talking about advocacy, say someone's listening to this and they care and they want to make a difference. How do they contact you? How do they reach you? What can they do to support you? Like do you have websites? Do you have causes? How can they find you? Can they donate? What can the people do that are listening to this, that are watching this, that would help you in your case?
You can actually write me at the institution, or you can, I have a podcast on social media.
Podcast.
Yes, my brother. Me and my brother operate because I want to make sure that the information that I give is factual information, real life experiences, information to the youth out there, because it's too much conversation about what the kids should do, and the people that's talking to them don't have the experience. They never experienced it. So how can you tell a kid what not to do and you never experienced it? So I give them real life experiences, and with the knowledge that I have and them seeing somebody actually in there for the rest of his life, possibly, that changed a lot of kids' life. I overturned maybe 30 kids' lives, and I've sent one to college myself.
That's amazing.
I'm currently in college. I told a young kid, if he go to college, I'll enroll in college. So I'm in 2 different colleges studying communication, one in leadership and management, Antelope Valley College for communication, Utah College for Leadership and Management. As of last year, I did 3 years in Open Bible College, and I went to Family Radio School to Bible College, and I became an ordained minister as of last year at Universal Church of Christ.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Okay. So I wanted to make sure I'm a living example that you can achieve something even under these conditions.
That's amazing. And that's a testimony that, like, you didn't get caught in the system and stay in the system and get worse, like I've heard about so many times or seen on TV or movies, because I'm taking it from that point of view, not James's point of view.
Well, right. Yeah. So I kind of want to ask a little bit. So how is the current institution that you're in? What is give us a little rundown of like your day to day.
My day to day is pretty much isolated in my cell almost 23 hours a day. Unless I go out to get a shower, then I don't go out to cell, because it's a nonstop violence. There's nothing that would not prevent violence. You know, I mean, they say rehabilitation, but maybe 20 people leave out of my building. Out of 200 people, 20 people may leave out for a program, and the rest of us just dormant. Nothing to do. You go out yourself for 2 hours in the day room or 2 hours to the yard, but that's just every day. It's a repeated cycle.
Oh my God! So, yeah, and I listen. I'm not acting like I don't. I did it for the most. It was five years, right? So, just a little under 5, right? And then I even did the ass end of mine on work release. So I even got a nice program.
Got it. By the way, we have to get his how people can write him and how people can contact. Because he said he has that in the podcast. Let's get people to follow him. Let's get people to write him. However they do it.
Okay. I see him go.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever.
I seen him walk out the door. You know.
Yeah, I can see.
I don't know if you walking.
Attention. Now I can see like the little eye hole where they come peek in. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the window blocked back there, so if they actually walked up on me, they can't see anything. They'll knock on the door and be like, "Hey, I can cover everything up, turn the light out." Be like, "Hey, you know."
Yeah, see, he knows what he's doing.
He might have been there for a couple days. So, real quickly, I want to say while we're still going at this, you said that people can write to you at the institution and they can follow your podcast. Yeah. Can you give like addresses, numbers, podcast names, like website addresses, or ways to support you? Because just saying that it's there, people have got to find a way to get to it.
Right. I can provide y'all my address and whatever information y'all may need. But
That'd be great.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, we can definitely let's what we need to do is for one, we need to make sure that he gets you all of that stuff to look over, yes. Right? We want to have that, as long as you're okay. Listen, obviously, with whatever you want to do, right? We want to make sure that and I'd be interested to take a peek at kind of at the original files that nobody can get a hold of no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of curious as to what's in that bitch. And, there is a few people that I could definitely maybe see what, I mean, I'm curious. I'm curious myself. And
I kind of want to put a link at the bottom of this podcast and post them on one of our sites. So when they go click the link, they can just go to our site and see the whole file.
You get what I'm saying? Like, you can do something exactly. What you see is like you got these people all through social media now that are like retired and at home, right? Older attorneys that are doing nothing that'll end up catching something and be like, holy fuck, what the fuck you got? You know what I'm saying?
As James and I said, like, because he knows what I've been going on with my legal battles and dealing with the fraud and breach of contract with New Era. It's all that happens is you need the one person, the right person to see it. And we're not saying we can find you the right person, but you don't need a million people to see you. You need one person who cares and actually wants to do the right thing to find it, to get your message out there. And all we want to do is make sure we, help you find that one person. Doesn't mean we can, but we'll do our best to try and get it out there for you if that's what you want.
Yeah, we definitely will.
Yeah, because, that's what I really want is my story to get out there, at least
this is crazy.
Give me an opportunity to get a sentence reduction or something, because at the end of the day, from 18 to 52 years, I've never been examined, never been reevaluated for release, anything based on the sentence I got. This is my life. I wrote to the courts, asked for a resentence. They told me, due to the nature of your case, we're not going to reopen it.
What was your official sentence?
It was felony murder robbery.
No, for years. Like, what do they give?
Life without the possibility of parole plus 9 years.
Jesus Christ! Like,
what's with the plus 9?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna like. Who says plus 9? What are you, a cat?
Yeah, I think they believe that.
Yeah, and just to be abundantly clear, we're definitely not laughing at you, my boy. Because
oh no, I know you got to find humor in something.
You know what?
It's kind of what we've realized for our message too, with everything we do, with effing around. Like that's kind of why it is. We want to touch serious topics. We want to bring light to it, but nobody wants to sit there and just get information screamed at them or put down their ear. You got to make it where you can actually enjoy it. So. Yeah, we're not trying to like laugh at your expense. We're not trying to do it, but we just want to have fun and joke with you,
definitely.
And like at least make you realize we are enjoying talking with you, and it's a good time to talk. And it's educational to people, but at the same time, we're trying to have a good time with you as we do it.
Right. Well, I'm very at peace. I like I said, I didn't live to be 52 years old, and that's a blessing in itself. So. I find humor in it myself because of things I have seen and experienced in prison, and even just knowing that I survived to get to this point to where I could talk to you guys today is a blessing in itself.
It definitely is.
We were talking about like while we were waiting for you to get ready to call, like we were just like joking. We were like, what if this is like a scam? What if Joey's got us waiting up for no fucking reason.
What if it's Mo sitting there like dancing around?
What's kind of crazy about it is it's actually something that is like it was actually well worth the
100%
the wait.
Even like the like to show you how serious.
I can't believe he's looking out for COs right now. I'm sorry, it's blowing my mind. That's why I keep getting stuck. I'm sitting here and I'm like, yo, dude, he's literally paying attention to if a CO is walking by. But I'm sitting here.
I'm actually listening. I'm listening with one ear for the walk, and then I'm talking to y'all with the other.
I'm picking it up, my boy. I see it already. He's got one headphone in. He's got one ear to the side. He's paying attention to the CO doing it. Obviously, Buddy's still walking the deck right now, dude. Yeah, Mac Buddy's still on the deck, dude.
He's looking for it.
I'm gonna hit the nail on something real quick on my case. Even in my abstract of judgment, it says at the time of the commission of the crime, the defendant never had a gun, nor did he use a gun. It's what it says on my abstract of judgment.
So now explain to everybody what an abstract of judgment is really quick, just so anybody's tuning in.
The abstract of judgment is what the court sentenced you as. It's two sheets. One is the abstract of judgment. It identifies your sentence, your time.
Yep.
The other one identifies the actual crime. You know what I mean? And then it gives if you was a trigger man or not trigger man, the specifics of your case. Okay. In the specifics of my case, it says you was not. I never had a gun, nor did I use a gun at the time of the commission of my crime. And having that information, I presented that to the courts. Hey, I'm not the trigger man, but the judge never signed off on the jury instruction as of felony introduction, which would allow aid and abetting. So the jury never had the opportunity to deliberate on aid and abetting because it was never instructed to them. So they only had one verdict to come at: either he's a murderer or he's not. So it was
flukier than listen, I mean, a lot of people kind of when they tune into this, especially with the demographic that we got, right? A lot of people are going to understand what he's saying and the language that he's saying, right? But there are going to be some people who don't get it. But basically what he's saying is the shit was fucking fluky. It's the flukiest shit in the world. It's just some fluky ass bullshit. Yeah, see, look.
Oh my, I'm still in disbelief of this whole thing. I mean, this is way better than Mo dancing around as Maui.
I'm glad I'm high as fuck.
I bet you are. Are you having PTSD flashbacks?
No, it's low key, bro. He's actually like, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not like in a bad way. Like the only thing that I do is I really can see the excitement that he's got, right? Because stuff like this is shit that you treasure while you're fucking in there. It's fucking real human interaction, right? Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. Let's just say that, he decided, hey, listen, I don't want to air it, right? He would probably never forget about this for the rest of his life, this would be something that he would consider a highlight, just because you really long for that real human interaction. That shit that you get in there, bro, it ain't always real fucking human interaction, man. It's a fucking cesspool of negative fucking energy everywhere.
Yeah, they promote violence to show society that we're not rehabilitated. You know what I mean? So they'll bring people that not supposed to be here and to promote it.
Especially where he's at and shit, dude. I mean, these guys got swords, bro. They're not knives. They're fucking swords. These things are they're like fucking katanas.
For the viewers that y'all have, so they can have a clear understanding what it means to feel like to be in this little tank.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Just think about being in your bathroom, right? Turn off the light, take the door handle off, so you can't get out. Now, that's your cell. You're going to feel the walls coming in from different angles, and if you don't have nothing to read or watch TV or anything, the walls is really going to close in on you. Now, picture someone of your family member that you're very close to, that you can never be separated from, maybe your wife, your kids, or whatever, and just hear them crawl out for help. Help me. They're killing me. They're trying to murder me. Whatever it is, that somebody broke in the house and they're crying out for your help, and you cannot get to them. That is prison. So when you make, the youth out there making the wrong decisions, or the people that's making the wrong decisions, that's what you're going to be facing. That the people that you love the most, you can never go back and heal or correct what it is or help them in any kind of way, because you're locked up. As I talked to y'all today, is how I seen my mother pass away. In 2019, she had ovarian cancer. They put her on 3 days hospice. I had, rent me a phone at the time. I had to rent one, and they set the camera up, and I watched her take her last breath. I talked her out.
Man, that's fucking.
That's hard. I'm so sorry.
That's fucking real. I'm sorry about that, boss. That's unfucking real.
And that. I haven't cried. I haven't mourned her. I can't, because I believe if I release that, I might go crazy. That was my best friend, and it's it's still touchy to this day. 2019 to 24. It's recent.
That is completely understandable, dude. That's I mean, it's unfucking real. I'm so sorry, boss. But I want to get on something a little bit positive about. I'm not gonna lie to you. The guy that you're describing me when you committed these crimes, right? You had mentioned that I believe you said something about being in special classes, I believe was the word you used. I don't want to use the wrong word.
Yeah, special education.
Okay, special education classes. So the guy that you're describing to me right now, I mean, you've held a fucking highly intelligent conversation with I like to pride myself on being able to hold an intelligent conversation. I know Joey is one person I know can hold a very intelligent conversation, and I'm not gonna lie to you, you are fucking you're doing better than myself, dude. You're a highly intelligent fucking individual, dude. So I want to hit on a little positive. I know that it's not nowhere near good that you've been gone that long. See, look, man. I know what he's doing, man. He's got it. I'm telling you, I know how it is. I know how it is. Man. So you gotta do that shit whenever, even if you want to cook your food the right way, right? So I don't know how they do about him.
I got a few minutes right now. He's starting in the lower tier, and he's gonna go around, and he's gonna come up to the top tier and come back around, and he's gonna buy my stuff this way.
Okay. So listen, here's what we're gonna do, dude. Get everything over to
the group chat.
Joe. To the group chat, right? Everything that you possibly can. Get us your contact information, get us your number, all that stuff.
Your website links, whatever you have, that we can, links, your podcast links, how people can write you, how you can do it.
How people can write you. I need your inmate number. I need how people can put money on your books. I need everything that it pertains to you, as long as you're okay with it, boss.
I'm okay with it.
We're going to put it, as you know how podcasts work, at the bottom where the description of the episode, we're going to put all that down there for everything for you.
Yep. Okay.
And then all the paperwork you send, what we'll do is I'll have a page drawn up in 312 if James is okay with it, where we'll post all the paperwork where they can click the link up below the podcast link, go to the our webpage for the music company, and they can see all your paperwork there where they can actually get it and feel free to go through it.
Okay.
And if that's okay with that, that's what we'll do. And can't guarantee anything, can't guarantee results, can't even guarantee the reach. But we can guarantee we'll do our best to get it out there, and hopefully we can find that one person.
Definitely. Yo, I'm definitely gonna do my best.
Just knowing the fact that two people have heard my story in the free world.
Well, wait, actually, hold on. Three, because my sound,
right here, Monty too.
We have a sound engineer with us. Yeah, remember I told you he was going to dance around like Maui?
That was me.
Yeah. By the way, if this ends up successful, he's going to dance around like Maui for you.
It's a beautiful thing, man.
Does he know who Maui is?
Do you know who Maui is from the Moana movie? Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't imagine
a half-naked big motherfucker
he's
with long hair.
Yeah, he's a half-naked big motherfucker with long hair.
Okay, so it's a
Disney movie.
One second.
No. Okay, so listen, we don't want him to get in trouble, dude.
No, okay, yeah, not at all.
We definitely don't want him to get in trouble. No. Okay, so listen, here's what we're going to do. Listen, we want you to get us all the information.
Yes. Everything.
As long as you don't get in trouble tonight, we can always schedule another call, dude.
Yes.
If you get in trouble tonight, we can't schedule another call.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
And also, when you send us everything, send us the proper channels for us to communicate.
And actually, really quick, too, how are the call situations? Like, how's the phone situation?
Well, they got these things called tablets. We now have in our cell, you can call out, you can text message. It's free. You just put money on it. It's free calls. You can call anywhere on this free. Anytime. 24 hours a day.
Dude, we're gonna get you a phone number, dude. Start calling us. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to do. Listen, you're crazy, bro. You wild, bro. Man. Give me a buzz, dude.
That's what I say. After the night, this thing is gone.
This thing is gone, and you're gonna put all your contact in the chat, and we'll put everything out for you, Nelson.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, listen, man. It was a pleasure meeting you, my boy.
Absolutely,
same here.
Wait, before we end though, any last words or anything you want to say to everybody listening? Like, how do you want to end this podcast? What would you want to say as your final thoughts before you end it?
My final thoughts is, just don't judge. Don't judge me. Really look at the situation for what it is. Because your kid can be in the situation, or anyone can be in the situation that's near and dear to you. You know what I mean? And for the youth out there, really pay attention to what I'm saying to you, because it can be your life. And that's another mother's crying because her child is locked up for the rest of his life. And it may not be an opportunity like I'm getting to get your child out. You know what I mean? And I'm a man that don't have kids, never been married. Lost everything, both my grandparents and parents. I don't want nobody to ever go through this. So that's why I'm really telling my story the way I'm telling it, as transparent as I can possibly get it. And I just want people to really make wise decisions, because it can be the rest of your life. I look forward to being a dad. I want to be a dad. I want to be married, but prison is preventing that. And once they got you, they're not going to let you go.
Just a dollar sign and a number.
Hey, listen, we're going to be able to actually dive into this properly, too. Let's get him some contact
He's got to go.
Get everything over. All right, boss.
All right.
It was
I'm going to call you, James. Pleasure to meet you.
All right.
And be safe.
All right.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Prentiss interview during this holiday week on F'nAround in the Morning. This is Joe.
Hey, it's JJ, everybody. We appreciate everybody checking out Prentiss's story and supporting him. Have a great holiday.
Thank you for effing around with us in the morning.
See you tomorrow morning.
All right, see you tomorrow morning.
Effing around, start the day. Lesson brains, we got something to say. Feel the beat and energy rise. It's morning mayhem, no surprise. We're effing around, sun's up, it's true. Morning vibes just for you.
Sounds good.